Hello, this is a presentation to present our paper, The Impact of Influencers Toward Customers' Buying Behavior on Instagram platform. This paper is made specially for to find out about buying behaviors of customer, which people are very interested in Instagram because nowadays people are making choice by just looking at products through social media. And to be more specific, in this paper, we have selected Instagram, one of the social media platform, which is also the reason could be because it is one of the most popular platform for online shopping, especially among teenagers or youth. In this paper, we are going to discuss about an introduction and then problem statement, research question, and we are going to look at the most important part, which is finding, and also little bit conclusion. Talking about online shopping, are you interested in online shopping? Of course, because even before pandemic, people have already started to do online shopping, staying at home, looking for stuff, like windows shopping through computers. But then after pandemic, this issue has become a bit, maybe we can call it an habit. Yes, people prefer to be at home and then comparing prices through webs. They just compare through whatever happens in the internet. They can compare prices, and also it's more convenient, and they don't have to spend money for petrol. It makes their life easier. So let's look at the statistic of Instagram users in Malaysia. Looking at the statistic, wow, Instagram users in Malaysia in January 2022, look at the numbers. Okay, the numbers has actually increased, and looking at the age, okay, looking at the age, we can see 18 to 24, 25 to 34 is the highest number of age, people who are using Instagram. We can say that between 13 and 70, most probably they are not using Instagram, probably because of limited usage of mobile phone, okay, some restriction. And looking at 35, 44, 45, 54, 56, 64, and the other ages, it's probably because they are in different site, which is not Instagram, because Instagram is a bit technically it's quite difficult for those who are new to the platform to learn about it. So age is a factor which uh, why we choose Instagram, and also the respondent that we have for our research is actually university students, and this is one of the reason. Okay, looking at the age percentage, we can see that 18 to 34, and the undergrad students that we have approached for our research to get the information, to get the data from them, is actually in between 18 to 30. All right, so this is one of the reason to support our research paper. Now let's look at the problem statement. Okay, problems, talking about problem statement, there must be a problem to start a research. Looking at this issue, online shopping in Instagram, one of the problem is actually more people would like to choose online shopping instead of physical shopping. Even though we have a lot of malls, but then we can say that there are people who are actually more interested in choosing online shopping, especially from Instagram, and uh, to buy their daily products, whatever that they are using at home. They are using online shopping as one of the main platform to buy products. Okay, and looking at point number two, rapid development of economy and the internet technology is one of the reason. Although we can't directly relate this to Instagram, but this is one of the reason people are moving towards online shopping. And when people are moving towards online shopping, Instagram plays an important role in providing them products and also services they would like to buy from internet. And point number three is online shopping is a new style of shopping. So basically, we have this habit of following what people are doing. So looking at the age of the respondent that we have approached, and this age, they have the urge to follow what's happening around. Now let's just try what's new, what's happening. All right. So these are the some of the reason why we have actually started this research, and we actually approach this number of people, and also and let's look at the progress of our research. Now, um, the main research question that we have for this research is number one is the attitude, to look at the attitude of buyers toward the influence of advertisement on Instagram. So we're going to look at the attitude of the basic attitude of the buyers in Instagram, and then we are also going to look at any significant differences in the behavior ability of the buyers. Okay, mainly we are going to ask question. We actually ask questions that related to influences, because when we talk about Instagram, Insta influence will pop up in our mind. So when the first thing that when we ask the respondents, when we ask them about online shopping, Instagram, they were actually mentioning some names, some influencers name. So it is like directly connecting them when we say that online shopping, Instagram, they are connecting to influencers, because influencers playing a very important role in the shoppers life. Okay, whenever they have to like they stuck in between to make decision which product is the best and which product they should buy, or maybe another reason that given by the respondent, which they find that influencers are actually are giving them some idea on what are they supposed to buy, is actually the immediate reply, because sometimes they need some information, some extra information about a product that they are thinking to buy. So instead of waiting for like approaching the real products website or the company, instead of waiting for them, because the reply may be delayed or maybe no reply, so they can approach the influencers who are already like they 24/7 in the Instagram. Now they are online and they are able to give you some details with experience, like they are replying immediately. So this actually gives the respondents some sort of um, uh, like comfortability to go to Instagram and grab something that they like, especially when it is endorsed by influencers. Okay, so these are the two research questions which is related to our topic, and let's look at the finding in a very simple way. I would like to remind, actually, this research is actually to find information that related to influences, how influences actually influencing the bias, and the bias are actually undergrad students who are teenagers, and they are spending a lot of time in Instagram, scrolling, looking at the reels, looking at the stories, looking at the feed. Now they are spending a lot of time in Instagram. So basically, these are the criteria of the respondent who answered. Now let's look at the findings. Looking at what is the attitude of bias towards the influence of advertisement on Instagram. Yes, so, looking at this, based on the TBP, the behavior belief depend on the affective response which one feels toward the object. Thus, in this research, the researcher found that most of the informants were persuaded and influenced by Instagram advertisement. And let's look at one of the buyer's answer. I find Instagram ads very effective as the majority of people of this generation use Instagram. Yes, the advertisements are persuasive. So the advertisement basically were created by the influencers. So let's look at the research question. Now, uh, what is the attitude of buyers towards the influence of advertisement on Instagram? Yes, it is actually, they are saying that, they are admitting that it is persuasive. Okay, now let's look at research question number 2. Any significant difference in the behavior ability of the buyers? Before we look at the conclusion or the finding, now let's look at the answers from the buyer. Okay, buyer, we have few buyers here that responded. I'm satisfied with most of the packaging. It's different, unique packaging. I'm very satisfied with the packaging as there has not been any dent or damage on them. The packages are neat and double coated for extra protection. Yes, most of the parcel that I have received met my expectation. And then buyer 7 said that verified accounts are convincing even more. By looking at this answer, beyond looking at the product, they are also looking at the packaging, because when we look at when they uh, get the product, like when they look in Instagram, first thing that they see is actually the product itself. Okay, there's no packaging, but then when they go for physical shopping, usually most of the product will be in the packaging, so they don't have the chance to look into it. So here, even though they are not giving importance for packaging, but once they receive the product, once they receive the product, they like the packaging. It's like a surprise element for them. So that's one of the reason, and also the result that we got from the respondent. And if we look at this, verified accounts are convincing even more. They have also added, okay, they are given some extra idea about verified accounts. So if we look at Instagram, they are also touching a little bit about trust issues in Instagram, because in Instagram sometimes the influencers are like, there is a question: is it reliable? Who are they? Why are they endorsing this product? So to overcome this, some buyers are also looking at verified accounts, right? But then now we have another issue where people can actually pay to verify their account. So that is another issue. But this buyer were mentioning, saying that they will look for the verified account. And also some of the buyers were saying that they actually spend some time to find out more about the influencers, because if influencers are saying something, okay, who are they, and what are the products, and what is um, their history all about before they trust and buying a product. So this is a little bit about our research finding, and move on to the conclusion. So basically, according to this research, most of the informants were influenced and persuaded by Instagram advertisement. These advertisements were from the influencers, which led the buyers to be tempted to make purchases. However, there were few informants who were not distracted in doing so. This is based on our respondents' research. I really hope the listeners enjoyed listening to this paper. And this paper is actually in the basic exploratory study, and we would like to research more about this, about the teenagers youth's interest in other platform, to make a comparison. Thank you very much.